welcome to No Shop Talk. I'm Jax here from Crazy Squirrel Game Store.
I'm Calvin from Next Gen Escape, also here at Crazy Squirrel Game Store.
And today we're going to talk about trying to find that balance between being an entrepreneur and a business owner and still having a life, for lack of a better phrase, right? Because I remember in our first 2 years, like I did nothing but work. And then at the time, Scott was working with me, and so it was great. I still got to see my husband, but it was nothing but work, right? I didn't have band, I didn't have outside things. And these days I'm much better at it, but still not perfect at it, you know what I mean?
Right, I think that nobody is gonna be perfect. Well, I would think that most people aren't gonna be perfect at it. It's gonna be a work in progress, as with all things in life are. But I do think that everybody finds their unique stride. I think that Kia and I have a very unique stride with our business.
Yeah.
In that we're either in modes of pure work,
yeah,
we're hauling it and we're going as fast as we can to get whatever project it is done. And there's nothing that can stop us, nothing that can hold us back.
Right.
And then we have periods of lethargy where we do very, very minimal. We're on maintenance mode. I heard on a video on YouTube, a documentary on YouTube that I saw recently of putting in, treating it like a bank of whether or not you deposit or withdraw.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes the business requires an insane amount of deposits from us.
Yes.
And sometimes it cannot afford for us to withdraw anything. And that's how life goes. But in an ideal world, there's a good balance between the deposits and withdrawals.
So Scott just took 2 weeks off of work because we had some family in town, and it is really unusual for him to take that much time off of work. And then I ended up also taking most of it off. There were still some days when I came in here and worked like half days and such, but that's where I'd like to be in the future, right? It's my choice to come in. If I want to come in and do things, is to get to that point where it's hey, I want to work on this fun project for me instead of I don't know, printing fixtures for the store, just like that kind of thing. But finding that balance, I think, is one of the most difficult first and second year thing to do.
Do you think that, well, you're well past that
I'm 15
point.
now, so
yeah. You're well past the 2 year mark, 2 to 3. So do you feel like you're getting to that balance? You're approaching where you want to be?
I think I am better at giving myself permission to not always be in the store. And you kind of have to get to that point. There will be days where I have to come in and work. The opener yesterday had a family emergency, so I came in and worked front of shop, which is unusual for me these days. And
typically you're back of house.
I'm usually back of house. I'm ordering, I'm trying to come up with processes for people, I'm doing the paperwork, I'm doing that kind of stuff. If you see me at front of house, just have patience. I'll get there. Because I don't use it every day, right? I'm not up on sales every day. But one of my friends, John Coviello from Little Shop of Magic, has also been giving a seminar about, you have to take time off. If you work 100% of the time, you will burn yourself out, and that's bad for your business. So I know, with my employees, I tell them I want them to work at about 80% every day. Give me 80% effort most days, because then there's going to be days and seasons where I need 100%. And you can't work at 100% all the time. And people who say they give 110%, I'm just that's mathematically impossible.
Yep, they can't do that.
So the trick is I think giving yourself permission to do the same thing. You don't have to be 100% all the time, even though it absolutely feels like you need to.
And you know that you get results when you do put it in. That's the unfortunate part. You know that there's a definitive, if I do this, eventually there'll be a stopping point. But eventually you have your own stopping point that you're gonna hit.
Yeah, your body's not gonna be able to do that the whole time. I don't care what kind of shape you're in. It's just hard to give 100% all of the time.
We had plans on finishing up October in our Hobbs Grove adventure, and then immediately hitting the ground running and continuing to get our final game done.
Right.
At our business. We're still in April, many months after October. We're not anywhere close to getting that game done. Now that my hand is healed up, I'm down to go in and start working on it more aggressively, but even then, there's definitely some periods of where we are really fortunate that we can relax and rely on our employees a little bit more. or just not focus on the growth and just the maintenance of the business.
Sometimes it's nice just to be able to go back, and when I'm in front of shop, I'm relearning a bunch of stuff, and I like to do that. One, because I see that the staff is coming up with ideas that work faster than mine. And two, I find the flaws more easily because maybe they've told me, but I haven't heard it. But when you gotta live that embarrassment up in front of customers, you're all of a sudden like, oh, this is a priority. We should fix this right now.
Yeah, we do the same thing with our escape room. We don't know exactly what is as important of like, oh, this prop isn't working. Is it not working because it was unplugged? Is it not working because somebody destroyed it and we don't quite know until we come in?
And when you get tired, it's harder for you to brainstorm the ideas of why it's wrong.
Yep. Brainstorm solutions and how do you get this back up and running in a good manner.
Have you two taken a long vacation since the business is open? Let's say you've been away. Have you been away from the store for a week or more?
For a week or more. Probably not since we've moved, no. At our old location, we did have periods where we were able to do that, and that was really fortunate for our mental health. I think that was wonderful, but at this new location, since we've moved back in, we've been pretty much hands on deck, I feel like, the whole time. There's been maybe up to a week when we've been able to be away from it.
That's good.
But I would not say probably more than a week. What about you, Kia?
I mean, honestly, I schedule all the employees every single day.
Yeah.
And we have to keep an eye on the booking software every single day.
Right.
So even when we're not working, we're still working because, and also it's just because
our attention is never not on the business.
Right.
Yeah, and it's become so much a part of us that it feels wrong to not do it too.
Right.
It just feels like you'll naturally do it. Like we tried to go away from social media for like a week a few days ago, and so the thing was like we could only go onto the stuff that was going to help us with the business. And what ended up happening was we just started working more instead of, so yeah, it's hard to say like 100% away. Even when I was in Hawaii for our honeymoon, we were literally, I was still scheduling employees. I was still
problem solving
from Hawaii, being like, can you come out at this time? You know?
I went home for Christmas to Missouri one year and ended up like having to stay up all night because the website got hacked, and that's what I did.
Ugh.
Right? Or you're like, for me, I'll be at home. If I get to go home to Missouri for a week, my family already knows like there's going to be at least one day where I just have to sit down and do work. I have to do orders. I have to do restocks. And your phone can catch you all the time. So one of my favorite days away is going to Yosemite or Sequoia where I have no cell service. So,
yeah, there's physically no way of contacting.
Right?
Yeah.
You're forced to do that. And when you have a good staff that's also empowered to make decisions, that means you can escape from your business for a day or two. And if you haven't done it in a while, it's amazing how much it helps. Like just being able to sleep in for the last couple of weeks has been great.
Sleep is one of the most basic things on Maslow's hierarchy of needs that gets neglected.
It's the first one we give up,
we
right?
can sacrifice.
We're like, oh, I could stay up all night. It's no big deal. I don't know how many nights I've been here at the store because there was a break-in and I just stay here.
Because it's easier.
Sleep, right? Yeah.
It's easier just not to sleep, and it's worth the sacrifice in your head. But man, it is.
It's not healthy.
It is such a sacrifice.
When we used to have overnight Magic releases, when our first pre-release would start at midnight, like for some reason I thought it was smart to just stay awake for 30 hours helping run the store. And about 3 years into that, I'm like, I am old. I cannot do that. And now that I'm in my mid-50s, I'm still at that place where I'm like, I still think I'm 20. Like this isn't a thing I can do. But it is super important to figure out what that is. And even if it's you give yourself half an hour every day where you're not on the phone, you're not online, just some way to give your brain some time to think.
Yep. We do such creative processes every day. Every time we try to interact with the escape room of modifying it, making it better, improving it, it takes a certain part of our brain to like activate to make sure like, is this good? Is this right? Every little thing that we do is going to change the experience for our players. So if we are not fully cognizant, if we're not fully thinking things through, it's very easy to set up players for failure, and then they have a bad time.
And they don't come back.
And they don't come back.
But you guys do stuff like you have a dog that you love and you spend time with, and that's really important. I play in a band, and that's one of my, even though it takes up time, it pays me back creatively.
Right.
Because my brain's working in a totally different mode then. So even finding those things in our daily lives, we're like, this is a thing that can help me just be better and be more resilient when things happen. I think is really important, and it takes some business owners a really long time to understand that. And that's usually about the time you're ready to burn out is about the time most people realize they should hire an employee, right? So it's just important to keep that all, and like, I feel like I'm the old and wizened oracle now. You got to take that time. You have to refresh yourself before you can help anybody else.
To your full potential. You can help, but you're not going to do as good as what you could.
Right.
So what do you guys think of like the stereotypical entrepreneur who is like, I wake up at 6 a.m. and I gotta grind and you gotta make that money? Like, what is your guys' opinions on that kind of like toxic entrepreneur mentality?
I think a lot of that is made up. Right, because once you get to a point where you're rich and an influencer, yeah, I think some people do get up at 6, but getting up at 5 or 6 in the morning isn't for everybody. I would hate my life if I had to get up at 5 every morning. Like, I would be super miserable because I'm absolutely a night person. And I do think a lot of entrepreneurs do the grind, but just most of them I don't think do it like that. It's just like, you can work out. You don't have to work out first thing and then eat a bowl of oatmeal or whatever. I bike to work. That's how I get my workout in.
But you don't need to make a post about, this is how you get to crazy Squirrel game store every day. Follow my journey.
I've never felt like I had to share that with everybody else. Well, here's what I do, because I'd be like, I get up, I drink a lot of water, and I work. Like, that's what I do. Yep. But I think it's better if you have some outside interests from your shop, because things are going to go wrong in your shop. Things are going to be squirrely in the business. Like, you need a way to be able to leave some of that behind you.
If you are solely reliant on your shoulders, eventually you're going to need to take a sick day and you won't be able to do it. And at that point, what is the option? Yeah. So I think that Kia and I are very fortunate in that for most of the time, we could rely on our own. Yeah. Like, we can run the whole business without staff, but we're also fortunate that we do have the staff that can help us patch up the pieces that we need. Yeah. So that way we can go home and we can have a life, we can unplug, de-stress from the day. Yeah, I think it's important. And we lost friends right after we first opened. Because, starting your business is like a baby. Like, your business needs everything. And so we were quite busy for a long time, and we had some friends get upset and say, like, well, you just never talk to us now. And it was really hurtful, but it was a good lesson. Because it was like, wow, have we really been out of touch with our friends that much? And yeah, we had been, so we had to make some changes. Also, screw those guys.
That's a great note to end on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us here today at Shop Talk. If you'd like to leave any questions or comments down below, you absolutely may.
We'll see you next time.